Every year, roughly 50 million American adults experience some form of mental illness. That is a massive, systemic baseline of distress running through the population. Mahesh Chukalingo appeared to be entirely immune to that statistic. He had just signed lucrative fiber-optic construction contracts in California and was dispatching fleets of trucks. Outwardly, he was thriving. Inwardly, the stress of carrying the operation was causing a complete emotional collapse. Seeking a reset, Mahesh attended a Native American church ceremony in Chicago. The experience systematically dismantled his ego, stripping away the performer he had built to survive the corporate world. But 3 days later, he was standing in a supermarket parking lot, staring at an overdraft notice on his phone. He was suddenly navigating the exact same financial and relational pressures, but now completely raw and without any framework to protect himself. This exposes the core tension of inner change. A moment of intense clarity is easy to find in a controlled environment, but maintaining that same level of clarity in the high-stress reality of daily life, the messy middle, is incredibly difficult to do. We have built entire industries designed to induce these profound realizations, yet we have failed to build the infrastructure required to actually integrate them before they vanish. This evaporation problem scales directly up to the enterprise level, specifically within the multi-billion-dollar corporate wellness industry. Companies pour billions of dollars annually into legacy employee assistance programs. Despite that massive investment, these traditional EAPs see a utilization rate of around 2%. The issue stems from a structural blind spot. Therapists, coaches, and HR departments only see an employee during a scheduled session or after a crisis. They have no way to observe the vast silent windows of time between those interactions. Because that daily window goes unmonitored, the stress of a demanding project or a personal crisis is invisible to the organization. It compounds quietly until it finally manifests as severe burnout or sudden corporate attrition. Preventing burnout requires moving away from these reactive systems. Organizations need a proactive layer of infrastructure designed to catch insights before they disappear. To survive his own crisis, Mahesh tried an experiment. He started feeding his most sensitive data, his daily journals, trauma timelines, and karmic patterns, directly into an AI language model. He named this early prototype Vishnu Mode, invoking the Hindu concept of the preserver, the force that restores order when systems begin to spiral. He deliberately constrained the AI's logic. Rather than acting as a chatbot that dispenses generic advice, the system was programmed strictly as a mirror. Its job was to track his inputs and flag when he repeated a destructive behavioral loop. Mahesh moved into an AI accelerator, using the prototype as his own R&D lab to test the engine against his own self-deception for months. Only after validating the mirror caught his recurring patterns did he scale the methodology into SoulSync mode. The platform works because it ignores standard self-help algorithms. Instead, it fuses modern AI tracking with structural frameworks like Jungian shadow work to decode the root causes of daily triggers. The AI catches a momentary insight from a daily log, instantly turning it into a guided reflection. It prompts the user to practice it repeatedly, reinforcing it into a daily ritual. Over time, these rituals solidify into lasting behavioral change. At the macro scale, these individual, privacy-first data pipelines are aggregated securely into central dashboards for practitioners and HR leaders. This aggregated data allows the AI to detect patterns of team-wide stress or the specific struggles of neurodivergent employees, weeks before those issues escalate into formal resignations or disability claims. The AI doesn't replace the human coach or HR department. It grants professionals a way to see the silent friction of the workweek, the previously invisible window where habits actually fail. For the enterprise, the financial math of this visibility is clear. Every dollar spent on proactive wellness yields a $3 to $6 return in reduced absenteeism and higher productivity. This comparative bar chart highlights the stark contrast in the data. Organizations using SoulSync mode report a 31% drop in burnout risk, alongside a 4 times increase in engagement compared to legacy EAPs. The immediate product roadmap pushes this even further, aiming to fuse this internal psychological tracking with hard biometric data from wearables, matching self-reported moods against heart rate variability and sleep metrics. By tying emotional patterns to physiological data, wellness becomes a trackable operational strategy, backed by the same rigor as supply chain data or financial forecasting. But despite this deep level of tracking, the core philosophical guardrail of SoulSync mode remains intact. It is engineered strictly to be a mirror, never a master. This stands in sharp contrast to the technology landscape, where algorithms are largely optimized to harvest human attention and foster an endless scrolling dependency. The true measure of success for this AI is its ability to ultimately make itself unnecessary by handing agency, self-trust, and control right back to the human being. As Mahesh notes regarding the critical gap between realization and reality, I didn't build SoulSync mode because I had all the answers. I built it because I realized the world has become very good at creating breakthroughs and remarkably bad at helping people integrate them.